this life that we would like to help you find for your highest good. So on the count of 3, we're at the next lifetime to view.
I'm remembering a life I already remembered, but it's nice in contrast.
And so if your higher self, if that's appropriate to go to, you can go to it now.
I guess this feels like a little break, but I'm back.
Very good.
My father put me in a tower and locked me away because I was in love with someone who wasn't appropriate. Oh, that came in another lifetime too.
Okay.
But he locked me away in the tower.
And so you're like Rapunzel locked in the tower, huh?
Yes.
Oh.
But he got ropes to me and got me out of the tower and attached his little boat to a big boat of sailors he knew.
Okay.
Dragged our boat away. And we had a little hut in the forest, and my father never found us. We were so in love.
And so you really were romantically and just had so much love there, huh?
Yeah.
And love will find a way. Wow. Well, that sure is wonderful.
And I guess that love came from before.
Mm-hmm. So you've done it before, you can do it again. That's right. And so let's go to an important day in this lifetime. So let's move there now. Can you tell me more about what's happening?
Well, it was when people were coming up the stairs to the tower when I was climbing down the rope. It was like soldiers.
Oh, wow. So
it was a very close getaway, and it was scary, but he was with me.
Very good. And so what happens next? Then what?
Well, let's see if I can remember.
Well, let's not try to do anything. Let's let it come to you naturally, right? So we can just breathe and relax and follow my voice.
Well, I just feel being in the boat on the water.
Okay.
And the happiness. And the fear that we'd be caught, but the happiness that we'd gotten that far.
Well, is definitely an impactful moment in the life for sure. Great. And is there anything else you like to share before we move on?
Not much happened in my life after that. It was just
happiness?
Good.
Yeah.
Just good.
Okay, well, let's move to the last day of this lifetime. So we're at the last day of this lifetime now. What's happening?
My husband's already gone.
Okay. And
my body doesn't work well.
All right, so let's move to the last breath of this lifetime now.
I see him.
See who?
I see him.
Mm-hmm. Your husband or your father?
My husband.
Okay, so just go ahead and connect with that love.
Yeah, and I guess I just died there.
Yep. So that's fine. You won't experience anything unpleasant. You may leave the body now. Just leaving the body. Look back on this lifetime now and just do a quick audit of the lessons you've learned, and go ahead and explain what lessons you can take away, please.
Love saved me. A good man saved me.
Mm-hmm.
Love made everything possible.
Love, yeah. Yeah.
Silly romantic story.
Beautiful story, beautiful. And it'll stay with you. So wonderful. For one moment before we move on, I'd like you to connect with your the father in that lifetime's energy. So.
Oh, I don't like him.
No. So
I was his property, and he wasn't going to let me go.
Okay. So.
Well, not to someone who wasn't his rank.
Mm-hmm. And so, since you didn't do anything wrong and you did what's right, can we get rid of any soul's contracts or anything that vows that he may have made that don't help you anymore?
I can see that the challenges he gave me that made me dislike him made possible the life I had with my husband.
And so from those challenges, you grew to the person that you came to be.
From those challenges, I found happiness.
Very good. So why don't we forgive him if that feels appropriate. Forgive him, forgive yourself, and just let any contracts go from that time. Feel better now?
Yeah.
Shh, letting it go. Really letting it go. Shh. Very good. And what we'll do next is we'll allow them to continue on their own path. And so we'll go up to the cloud, floating up, up, up. And we'll go to one more important lifetime. And this is a lifetime where your higher self will guide you to. It'll come naturally and freely. Drifting and floating. Floating and drifting, and on the count of 3, we're going to be at that lifetime. So on the count of 3, we're there. 1, 2, 3. We're there now.
I don't know where I am, but I have strong legs and I'm walking.
Tell me more. Is it daylight out or nighttime?
It's not night. I think it's toward the end of a day.
Okay. And what else?
I seem to be alone, but that's not a problem. I don't know what I'm doing.
And so...
I just keep seeing these strong male legs. Strong.
And you... So you're male, so you feel healthy, you
and
feel
there's
strong.
A boat.
Mm-hmm.
A big boat.
And so why don't you continue on the walking path? What happens next?
Well, I'm connected to that big boat.
Mm-hmm. So moving forward, when you're on the boat, relaxing and breathing.
It's like we're a group of people. I don't know what we're doing. I don't know if we're travelers.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd say we're soldiers or conquerors, but there isn't any of that sense of violence about it. It's just going to a new place. I was walking through this land I've never been before, and it'll be ours. It'll be ours. It'll be where we are. It's
like an adventure.
No, it's like a home. It's like finding a home.
Oh, okay.
And it seems like it seems almost like Ireland. I've never been there, but
okay. So your group is happy. They're settling on this nice land that they found.
Well, we haven't gotten to settling yet.
You just arrived,
walking
right?
The land and seeing it, and I'm going to be telling them what I found.
Sure.
And I'm strong and I'm confident. And I don't think there are women on our boat. I think we'll have to go back to get the women and children.
Sure, okay. And so, very good. Would you like to share anything else from this moment before we move forward?
It's just very green, and there's so much potential here.
Excellent.
That's all.
Excellent. And so what we'll do next is take a deep breath and a long exhale. Feels so good. And what
I keep seeing those massive legs.
All right. So what we'll do next is we'll move forward to an important day. On the count of 3, we're there. 1, 2, 3. We're there now. An important day. What's happening?
I'm old.
Tell me more.
I'm old. I have children. I have grandchildren.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a stubborn man. I'm a stubborn old man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of looking stubborn and prideful man, but not mean pride. But it's like I found it. We made it. This is our home.
Very, very proud of that. Very good feelings.
I'm proud of those kids who made something of the land.
Yeah, tell me more about that. So you're living off the land. It's beautiful. It's farming.
Yeah, and we have animals. Which is wealth. Having animals.
Very good. So you're prosperous and happy and...
We're prosperous. We have some sort of livestock. With pigs, too. We have some sort of livestock. The women grow things. I don't know much about that.
Wonderful.
I think that day came because I knew my life was coming to a close. It wasn't over, but it was kind of like a summary feeling of this is what we made. This is what we made.
And it feels good. So just soak up all that wonderful feeling. And would you like to move forward or backward in this lifetime to find out more information?
I don't really care. It just was...
Okay. All right, so we'll go to the last day of this lifetime. We're going there now. We're at the last day. The last moments of this life. What's happening?
I think I may have had pneumonia. I couldn't breathe. And I was inside, which was not usual for me. I think I had pneumonia and died.
So allow them to leave that body there, floating away from that scene. And looking back at this lifetime, what are the important lessons that you can share?
Have a dream and make it happen.
Beautiful. Anything else?
You know, it's not about love and spreading love. It's about land and family and community and strength. I guess there's love in that, but it doesn't feel like.
Very good lessons to take away. And even though in that lifetime pneumonia, the breathing issues was the cause of that are you ready to let that go too?
Oh, yes, it was okay. It was like, this has been a grand life, and I sure as shit wish it didn't hurt to end, but that's fine.
All right. So letting go of all the breathing issues now, letting those go, completely ridding them from any other lives, including her current life that she's now in. She doesn't need it. Letting it go. Breathing and relaxing and moving, drifting and floating away from that life, letting them there to continue. And now I want all of the consciousness and personality of Anne to once again fully integrate with the body. Very good. Taking with her all those wonderful feelings and all the things that she learned and all the love within her, she can take that with her as well. And so I respect the power of the higher self, because the higher self takes care of Anne's body, does a very good job. If I or you speak in first or third person, just whatever comes naturally. So, I'm going to ask in a second, Anne, to speak to your higher self. And because I respect the higher self, it takes care of you and does such a good job, I always ask permission. Do I have permission to ask your higher self a few questions?
Yes.
Very good. And so I know the higher self could have brought forth many different lifetimes for Anne to see today. Why did you bring forth the first lifetime, the one as the traveler with the special abilities?
I think it added to that other regression I had a number of years ago that I told you about.
Sure.
I think it just added a lot more to that. I think I needed to understand that more clearly.
And now do you understand it more vividly and clearly?
Yes, because what I feel now was what the wise men taught me.
And as I remember, since you were so thankful and grateful, they'll be able to be with you now when you need help. Is that correct?
Well, they don't need me to be thankful and grateful.
Oh, okay. Okay. And so you can...
There's too much ego in that.
Sure. And so now that you've experienced that in a different light, what can you take away from that lifetime to bring into your current life to help?
It was a sense of self that extended way beyond my body and was packed with the knowledge and the power of love that extends way beyond my body. And I can feel that now.
And will that stay with you now?
I sure hope so.
It will. Yep, it will. And
yeah, my higher self says yes.
Very good, very good. So now you can carry that with you to help you.
I've got to ask my higher self to help me stop fearing that it won't.
And that's one thing I wanted to ask your higher self too, is what you mentioned in that life is you're ready to stop getting rid of the fear and the loss. So is Anne ready to stop fearing and let go of the loss?
It's like there's one more thing I have to do. I don't know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not quite ready. I'm very close.
And what can help you? What can you do actively to get closer?
I can talk to Karen.
And?
Oh, she's a powerful spiritual person.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And she may help. That's what I was getting from.
Very good.
She said, talk to Karen.
Yes, very good. And now that you know you have all the love within you, you are abundance, correct? You are love. You have it within.
Essentially, that's all I need.
That's all you need. No fear, you can let go of the loss when you're ready, and so we'll talk to Karen in the next few days or weeks, right? And is there anything else that's coming to mind? Any other messages that are coming to you?
No, but I feel like we addressed so many of the things that we talked about, but we addressed them sideways.
And very good. And that's the way we learn, is through stories and through emotions and feelings, right? So it's...
I'm asking myself why.
Yeah, please say it out loud so we can... I can guide you.
I can't remember whether it was 2 or 3, but it seems like 3 of those lives. The Irish one was brand new. But 3 of those lives I've seen before in smaller detail. And
so, say it out loud.
well, I'm just wondering why. I guess it's the additional detail.
Right.
It just feels like it was almost, it's not a rerun because it was different, but it was the same person that I was there before. It's just, it's like when I was younger, the stories were fascinating. And now the meaning is more important.
And so you can take the meaning and apply it to your situation currently and use it.
Yeah.
And use it to come from that place of abundance and love and be that your true authentic self now.
Yeah, and unbury from the fear.
Yep. So we don't need it. It doesn't help us. So letting it go, really letting it go. You're such a loving, caring person. And sometimes how loving and caring you are, before we discussed in our session, you said that it would be nice for you to set boundaries with new people that you meet. So how can Anne best go about meeting new people?
There's something in that periphery, that energy periphery, that's very solid and absolute. I don't know if that solves the problem entirely, but there are no questions. There are no questions.
Okay, so you maybe when you meet new people, you can pay attention to that sign or symbol more?
Yeah.
Okay.
Less what I want to see.
Mm-hmm. So tapping into your intuition and more clearly. It was a little foggy before, so we'll clean it out and kind of reset it to a better setting now.
Yeah. In astrological terms, I've been succumbing to Neptune, which is pretty powerful in my chart, but
Very good.
But Neptune's about ideals, and ideals are perfection. And perfection does not exist in the physical world. Period.
Mm-hmm. That's correct. And so...
I tell clients that all the time. Shit.
That's right. So, but we can be the best versions of ourselves. We can have a high sense of self-respect and self-worth and lovingness to ourselves, and that'll overflow, and then you can help more people that you meet. Great. And so also, we wanted to address before the session, she mentioned that her brother is now with a wonderful caretaker named Kathy, and so she's so grateful for her. What feelings can we help Anne with, or toward that, her brother, and how can we make that a positive relationship moving forward?
Well, Kathy is a very, very high soul. And the word that comes to me, the word that came before I said that, was trust.
Very good.
And that includes trusting myself to say, I gotta go, Tom.
Yep. Okay. And so another very important thing that we would like to discuss is also Anne's motivation. What goal? She said she had a goal of finishing the 4th book of poems. And so what can really propel her to get this natural motivation moving forward? What makes her alive? What does she live for? What goals can she set to make that happen?
I'm trying to set new goals, because a lot of the things that were important parts of my life aren't available to me at this point. But it's experiencing this larger energy body itself feels like a goal.
And what actions can you consistently take to manifest that more?
I need to tap into that as I make decisions during the day. And that will provide the energy and the confidence and motivation. I've been trying to motivate myself with my brain.
Very good.
Yeah, and that doesn't do it. It's feeling that the power of that energy source, which doesn't have to do really with Mom's book or anything else. It just is.
Very good. So you can so now that it's with you, and it will stay with you, and it'll get stronger over the next few days and weeks and months, what else can you do to make that feeling better? What activities can you do to tap into it more?
Just keep reminding myself to be conscious of it. If I stay conscious of it, if I don't let it recede into the background, it'll take care of the rest.
Very good. And so you'll have that with you, and you can amplify it by helping people with your astrology, meditation. Is there any spiritual practices that you can do?
Not really. I haven't found a substitute for the tapestries, which was a huge spiritual practice. We'll just see.
Okay.
I believe I've meditated all my life, so it's not something I sit down and do.
Okay.
I just stare out the window and drift off and come back with knowledge, information, answers, whatever.
Okay, very good.
I don't have a I don't have a schedule of any sort.
Okay, very good. So you're tuned in more than others, so that's wonderful ability and gift. So very good. And so moving forward in our
You know what?
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
just realized why I've always felt like my teachers were not in body. My teachers were on the other side. My teachers come to me in dreams and download stuff into me. And the living gurus leave me cold.
Wonderful.
But now I think I figured out who those non-living teachers are.
Yes, very good. And so they'll be with you more and more, is that correct? You'll get more downloads?
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And keeping on this trend of success, you know, there's some. I'd like you to just visualize a book in front of you, and this book has your name on it. And in this book, there's a list of your soul's contracts. So I'd like for you to skim through this book and tear out any pages that are old contracts that we no longer need, that no longer serve you. One by one, taking out the soul's contracts, the betrayal, the relationship stuff, whatever it may be.
The betrayals with my ex are not old contracts. They're old hurts. And I can tear out the hurt.
You can.
But I can tear out the page of hurt.
Why don't we tear that out? Oh, that's a big one. Tear that one out. Very good. And also, what we'll do is when you're done, I'd like for you to, with the candle that's on the nightstand, just go ahead and burn up those soul's contracts pages.
You know what happened when I tore out the hurt? I planted that yellow flower I couldn't see at the beginning.
And so now, that yellow flower is free to blossom and be beautiful, right?
Yeah.
Feel the shift. The hurt is gone. Taking the lessons you've learned from it, making you whole again, leaving the hurt behind. You are now more experienced and wise and caring and compassionate. You can leave the hurt behind, making you whole again with your true self. Feel the shift. It's now gone. And so, is there any...
There's a book you need to know about.
Oh, what is it?
It's called The Afterlife Revolution. And it's written by Whitley Strieber and his dead wife.
Okay.
She told him after she died, she said, when they were young, they both said they're skeptical enough that if they tried to contact each other, if one of them died, they wouldn't believe it. And so they made an agreement when they were young married people that they would contact friends and tell friends to contact the wife or husband.
Okay.
And so after she died, friends from all over the world started calling Whitley and telling him, this is crazy, but I keep getting Anne talking to me saying, tell him I'm talking to John, James, whoever.
John, yeah, thank you. Okay.
But she said...
And what will I learn from this book? What will I... how can I progress?
The depth of soulness. She's when they finally did get to talk to each other, she said, Whitley, I'm not Anne anymore. Her name was Anne. I am everyone I've been in every life, in every time. but I'll always be Anne for you. And he said, well, can you tell me things about other times? And she said, if I lived through it, if I lived in France in 1100, I can't tell you what the American Indians were doing.
I really appreciate that message. Can you tell her thank you for me?
I've never talked to her.
Oh.
But I get her. I get it. She's got it.
Okay. Well,
she's got it.
Okay. Very good.
It's a lovely book. A lot of the book is him dealing with her illness.
Okay.
He's a wonderful soul explorer.
Wonderful. And so before we conclude our session today, is there any other messages for Anne? Anything lingering? Anything that we didn't mention before? Any other messages for Anne?
I'm trying to get out of my own head, which is just cool. Thank you.
Very good.
It's not going there right now.
Okay. Well, how about for Jonathan? Is there any other messages for Jonathan?
Well, what I just keep getting is you are on not just the right path. It is the right path, but you are on your path.
And so
you're walking down the right highway.
I'm creating my own path, or what?
No. What you're doing is what you're meant to be doing.
Wonderful. I really appreciate that. And are we ready to
It'll feed you. Not physically, it'll feed you. It'll feed your spirit.
And I really appreciate that. I'm going to put that into, it's already there. So, and so are we ready? Is there any more messages for Anne one last time before we move on? All right. And so, Anne, I want all the higher self to recede back with much love and much thanks for the information it was giving us today. Anne really appreciates it. And I want all the other entities and all the other things that we were speaking to today to also recede back to where they belong with much love and much thanks. What we've been given today was important. And as Anne processes this and listens to the recording, she's going to put the material in place, progress, and not just survive, but thrive. And it's going to be very important for her. So all of the consciousness and personality is once again returned and fully integrated into Anne's body. All of the consciousness and personality is now once again fully integrated, replacing all the other parts we were speaking to. Now I want Anne to move back to where you are currently, reorienting yourself on your bed. It's been a wonderful experience, very interesting experience. Any information that we have gathered is very valuable, but it will not bother you in any negative way. So you should be very proud of what you've done today. And over the next few days and weeks and months, Anne, you will be more confident, motivated, balanced, and disciplined. You'll find that your subconscious will guide and lead and help you follow your purpose, your true authentic self, overcoming any obstacles. By trusting the universe, you'll have less to worry about, more time to be in the moment, and tap into those abilities that you were in that last life that you still have right now. Effortlessly being motivated, moving forward. Now, in a moment, I'll begin to count up from 1 to 5, and at 5, we'll come back to the here and now. 1, coming back slowly. 2, getting in touch with your breathing, blood begins to circulate more and more. 3, reintegrating with your body, just moving slowly. 4, knowing your success is assured, moving forward. being your true authentic self. And 5, fully awake, alert, and clear. And when you're ready, you may keep your eyes open. It has been my honor to accompany you on this wonderful journey. How do you feel?
It's been powerful, John.
Ah.
Get up and turn off the put my hearing aids back in.
Yep. Just move slow at first. You've been laying there for about an hour and a half, I think, is what we went to.
Yeah, we're going to have a good long reading, too.